Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and well, I thought I was done for the year on doing videos, but something happened over this last weekend and I just couldn't go without giving you this information. So, this is what's up. Barnes & Noble is having a massive clearance event, and vinyl records, a lot of titles, not everything, but a lot of their titles are 50% off. I'm talking good stuff here. Bob Dylan, 50% off. You just have to look for this nice sticker here at your local Barnes & Noble. So, I was planning on waiting until after the new year to do another video, but I wanted to let you all know that this big sale is going on right now, and it's while supplies last. So hopefully all the vinyl heads haven't gone out and taken everything out of the Barnes & Nobles near you, and you'll have an opportunity to run over there sometime this week and pick up some great vinyl. So let me show you what I found there. Like I said, everything that's in the stack that I'm going to show you now was 50% off on Barnes & Noble. So as you saw first, we have this Bob Dylan album, Love and Theft. I'm not familiar with this album. I'm just starting to get into Bob Dylan a lot over the last year, so this is going to be new to me, but I'm very excited to have this. I've seen this in other posts and things like that online, so really looking forward to giving this a spin. I don't recognize the names on here, but again, I had another one that I picked up recently that I didn't recognize the names on and ended up recognizing a few of the songs. So also I got this Bob Dylan album. This is Shadows in the Night. Again, 50% off at Barnes & Noble. Looking forward to spinning this one as well. Again, not familiar with the title, but I always enjoy Bob Dylan. Picked up this album. This is the Killer's latest album, Wonderful Wonderful. Very excited to add this to my collection. We always like jamming to the man in the car. Picked up this latest Kelly Clarkson album, Meaning of Life. Fantastic album. Kelly Clarkson's voice is just unbelievable, so happy to find this and add it to the collection. Also grabbed this Dixie Chicks album that I didn't have on vinyl. This is Home. This was from 2002, and I believe this is the album right before Natalie Maines made her comments that kind of got her in deep trouble with a lot of the country music community and all that stuff. So, but this is a great album. Really enjoy the Dixie Chicks, so happy to pick this one up. And the last one of the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale was this Paul McCartney, Egypt Station, his latest album. I was kind of interesting when I put this on. Now, I haven't listened to a lot of his more recent albums. I just haven't bought any of them, so I'm not sure if this is normal, but when I started listening to the album, I thought, who's singing these songs? Because Paul's voice is so different from that classic Paul McCartney voice on this album. So then I thought, well, that's the right album. I thought maybe I got the wrong album, and then I listened to the lyrics of the song, and it was the correct lyrics of the song, and I thought, well, what the heck? Maybe I have a record that is, bad or defective and slow. So I pulled up my streaming app and I sunk the song Happy With You. I sunk that up with the record, and everything was in time and sounded the same. So I guess maybe Paul's voice is a little different on this album, or different. He just seems a little lower register than his normal singing voice was. So didn't sound like the classic Paul McCartney vocal when I was listening to it, but the songs on here are absolutely fantastic. This is a really, really good album. Really enjoyed it. It has that classic Paul McCartney vibe to it from the 70s era Paul McCartney, and really enjoyed it. So a great album. Let me know what your thoughts are. Melinda, if you're watching this, let me know what you think too. Is it just my ears? Maybe they were playing tricks on me, but it just seems like Paul's voice is a little different than the classic Paul McCartney voice, and maybe that's how his voice is now. I mean, he is 73, 74 years old, so voices change. But anyway, one of the interesting observations there. So that's what I got, Barnes & Noble, 50% off. There was so many albums there. I could have walked out with a bunch more, but I had to show a little bit of restraint. I got all 6 of those albums for under $100 after all the discounts were applied. Just an amazing price. You do get the 50% off, and if you're a member of Barnes & Noble, you get the 10% off member as well. So well worth it taking a trip out there and picking up all that good stuff. Now, before I go, I might as well show you some of the new things that I got. It is Christmas season, of course. I didn't get any Christmas albums this year, any Christmas vinyl gifts, other than my in-laws got me a Pioneer SX 727 receiver from the 70s. It's got to have some refurbish work done on it, but I'm really looking forward to getting into that and having that fixed up, because it's really what I've been looking for my system, was a vintage silver face with the dials, and it's got blue lights. It looks just absolutely amazing. So super pumped about that. That's really the only vinyl related gift that I got. Otherwise, I got cash, so I used the cash to buy some albums. And so here are some of the albums that I did find here. We're going to start with this one. This is Nelson's After the Rain album. This is a reissue of the album, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's a Friday Music reissue, and Friday Music is a label that can put out some absolutely excellent reissue stuff, but they can also put out some stuff that's just not awesome. Thankfully, most of what I've picked up from Friday Music has just been absolutely stellar, and this is no exception here. So After the Rain reissue, happy to have this on vinyl. Pick that up, and it sounds absolutely killer. I've got a couple that I bought from a gentleman online that I pick up a lot of used albums from, and this is the B-52's Wild Planet. This is one that was missing from my B-52's catalog, and so happy to have this in there. This one sounds great. It's got the Private Idaho sound on there, which people may know. This is Ringo the Fourth. This is a gold stamp promo, also with the record label on it here for not for resale promo, so kind of a cool little item here. So Ringo the Fourth. I also picked up a kind of greatest hits album from Ringo. This is called Blast from Your Past. So kind of fun to have. A really funky cover on there. Another Bob Dylan here. This is New Morning, and this is the one I wasn't familiar with. This came out, I believe, right before Blood on the Tracks, or maybe right after Blood on the Tracks. Anyway, he had put an album out like 4 months before then, and then this came out, and people were like really weirded out by the fact that he put out albums 4 months apart. And if you read anything about it, Bob Dylan had already had the previous album done, and the record company hadn't put it out yet, so they were already working on this while the record company was getting everything going for the album that came out earlier. And so they had it done and decided just to put it out too. This is great. It's got a song on here that everybody knows from commercials. I can't think of what it is now, but the la da 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 da. Anyway, that song you hear on commercials a lot. That's on this, and also If Not For You is on this. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that George Harrison did a cover of that song at some point. Great album, Bob Dylan. New Morning. And then lastly, I want to show you something that I found. There's a store up in Fargo, North Dakota, called Orange Records, and they post a lot of their new releases and new arrivals for used bins, and I always go through them because I have a buddy who lives up in Fargo who, if there's something I see that I want, will go and grab it for me. He works just across the street from it, so he'll go grab it for me and send it my way. And I saw this on there and looked it up and couldn't pass it up. This is Winger's second album called In the Heart of the Young. And what was cool about this was it was still sealed, never opened, and he was asking $18, well, a little under $18 for it. So I thought, oh, cool. I really want to get into some more of the Winger catalog. I have a buddy who's just a major fan of Winger, and I really enjoyed their first album with 17 on it and whatnot. And so I thought I'd get into a little more Winger. I looked this up on Discogs, and the price that it's going for in a sealed condition is $40 and upwards of $125. So I said, hey, if you can, go check and see if this is still available. I would be happy to pay for the album and shipping costs to get that here. And he went, and it was still there, and so here it is. I think the sticker price on it was $17.68. So I think that's a pretty good deal for an album that in sealed condition still goes for $40 online. Anyway, it's in obviously great condition and has all the original stuff. It's a club press, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. So there you go. Just make sure you get out to a Barnes & Noble if you haven't already. You can't pass up 50% off, and they're great titles out there. Tons of great titles. It's not just back catalog stuff that they had extras of. They put it on a lot of really, I mean, Egypt Station's on there. They put it on a lot of great titles. So go check it out. Barnes & Noble, 50% off while supplies last. So it's still going now. And pick up some, cheap, brand new vinyl. It's going to be great. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you next year in 2020 as we go through more awesome vinyl stuff. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new, and otherwise I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching, and keep spinning vinyl, friends.